Just brought me to the movie The Crow. Yeah, yeah, I've never watched The Crow before. Cardboard J says, I'm commenting on the question on the vid. Maybe you can reply after the end of the live. Yeah, if you have anything to ask, you can just ask it. Ask away. How's everybody doing? What's up, Noah? How you doing, bro? What's up, Victor? How you doing? I don't really have a format for this stream, but I titled it Ask Me Any Questions. Ask me any questions about guitar. You don't have to ask me questions, but that's kind of what I was thinking of doing. What's my guitar's brand? It's a Stratocaster, a Mexican Stratocaster. It's the Player Series. If you look up Player Series Strat, it'll come up. No, I'm not left-handed. It just, I think the screen is reversed for some reason. You just feel it or what? If you're referring to like how I play, when I'm playing to backing tracks like that, it's pretty much mostly feeling. I have a little bit of like a theory baseline where I'll kind of like know what notes I should and shouldn't hit, and then I will go based off of ear from there. I wanted to ask about a backing track you used in a previous live, so I've commented the question on the comment section on the stream. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, maybe I can actually pull that up right now. Let's see. I might be able to find the comment. Which stream was it? Oh, actually, no, I can't pull it up now because I'm not on my regular laptop. I'll answer your question after the stream, Cardboard Jace. Yes, I sing a little bit. I mostly play guitar, though. Yeah, so... How long have I been playing? It's, we are at the 11-minute mark right now. Just hit 11 minutes. What's up? How you doing, Car Masters Edits? What's my favorite song? What is my favorite song? It's a good question. I'd say my favorite song... I'd have to think about that one. I've been asked that before, and I always say I'll think about it, but then I never do. I'll get back to you on that. Do I play with my band often? We haven't been playing as much recently. We haven't even been recording as much, but, you know, we record more than we play recently. But, yeah, we used to play a lot. What's up, Ryan Gosling? What bands do I like? Man, there are so many good bands. What's my favorite one of the Seven Dwarves? You know, I don't know any of the Seven Dwarves by name, so unfortunately, I can't tell you. Name a car for an edit. Let's see, what's a good car for an edit? The Corvette. Okay, so Dan Fisher saying, like, you start with knowing the song as which key the real song is in. I'm not totally sure I understand your question, Dan, but I'll try to answer. Basically, are you asking, like, I kind of know what key it's in and then I go off of ear? Well, sometimes a song doesn't stay the same key or something. It'll change keys. And so in that case, what's up? Just join the chat. Hello, welcome. Yeah, so basically you just kind of, you can look at, usually a backing track will have a key, and you kind of just look at it and go, okay, that's the key. Then once you know what key it's in, you can, you know, play by ear. But actually a lot of times I don't even really think about what key something's in necessarily. I'll just go by ear, and then my fingers will naturally play notes that are kind of in the right key, if that makes sense. Like, for example, if I start playing something, I don't even know what key necessarily I was playing that, and I could figure it out. I can figure out that I was playing it in F sharp, but I didn't realize that when I started playing it, if that makes sense. What's up, Josh? Do you think guitar will sound good with a flute? I don't know. I mean, if you could play the stuff on a flute you can play on a guitar, that would be pretty impressive. If you could be like... on a flute, that would be pretty cool. Do you ever sit down and learn full solos from songs to nail the whole solo, or just learn licks or selections from solo or sections from solos that you find fun? If so, how much time? So I used to learn full solos in their entirety, like all the time, like whole catalogs of artists I liked. I would just learn every solo, literally, that they ever did, and like I would kind of pride myself in that I like knew all my favorite artists' solos. But then I kind of, for whatever reason, I don't know really when it happened. At some point, I got less interested in learning solos exactly note for note. And then I kind of started becoming more interested in making my own solos and improvising and all that stuff. So yeah, while I haven't like learned a solo in its entirety in a little while, I used to do that all the time. Hopefully that answers your question. Yeah, so. How many hours a day do I dedicate? I don't have a strict regimen in how much I have to play. I kind of play as much as I want, and it can be anywhere from... I'm not like consistent in the sense that I always play 2 hours a day or 4 hours a day or whatever it is. It could be anywhere from a half hour to 8 hours. So it just depends on, the day. Do I spend much time doing exercises with a metronome? I think that can be important. Most of my practice actually with metronome is when I'm studio recording. Because, I think that's actually good practice. When I first started playing, I was always playing with a metronome. And then I started not doing that quite as much, even though I think it is important. It's not that I don't do it anymore. I still do play with metronome, but not as much as I used to. I think once you get kind of an idea for what timing is like, you don't need to be practicing with the metronome quite as much. But when I record studio recordings, I'm always with the metronome, making sure I'm, as on time as I can possibly be. Thank you. I'm gonna try to pronounce your name. Kristoff? Sorry if I'm not pronouncing your name. He said, man, I just want to say that you are really cool. I would like to be like that. I appreciate that a lot. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. What's up, Ghost of Maiden? How you doing? Do I know any songs from Nirvana? Yeah, I know a few. You're not self-taught, right? Have you mostly always had lessons of some kind? Sorry, what was your question? Sorry, no, I am actually self-taught, for the most part. I mean, with YouTube, it's hard to, say you're self-taught because you're learning stuff from everywhere, but I guess, for the most part, I am self-taught, I guess. I appreciate that, Josh. Thank you for the compliment. Thank you, Ghost of Maiden. You guys are so nice. Yeah, so I guess in the ordinary sense of the word, I would be considered self-taught, but I'm not, I've never had an official, guitar teacher, but that doesn't mean I have not been taught guitar, if that makes sense. I'm from Poland. I know people can't read my name. Yeah, I'm sorry I can't pronounce it, but I appreciate you being here. This part of Canada, as Alberta, is very pleased in my spirit knowing there is a long-lasting music tribune going forward. All the young people growing. Very cool. Very cool, Dan. How lucky. Hey, Gene, how you doing? Never mind. It's all just has to do with if you practice. You can practice. You know what they say? Practice makes Petrucci. If you guys have ever heard that expression. If you are familiar with John Petrucci, I always think that's kind of funny. What's up, Quinn? How you doing? I wish I could practice for 8 hours like you. That's commitment. Well, I don't do that every day, but sometimes it's hard to put it down. And then other times I do not practice. I don't consistently practice 8 hours a day. Because, I mean, sometimes there's not enough time in a day to do all the stuff you want. Practice makes Petrucci. John Petrucci. But practice can also make pastrami. You can, with practice, make a pastrami sandwich. You can do that. What's up, Cheyenne? What would you say your biggest weaknesses are on guitar, even if others disagree with you? I would say one of the things that I notice that I do is if I mess something up when I'm playing, I'll just kind of keep playing that thing. And even if people don't, it doesn't sound like I'm messing up to them, in my head, I'm not getting it right, and then I'll keep playing the mistake, and it'll like, it just is, so it's one of my, I would say that's one of my things that I struggle with. Thank you, never mind. What is the best genre for learning? I guess it depends on what you want to learn. Dude, you gotta come to New York City. You'd crush it out here. Yeah, maybe I will. What's one of my biggest strengths on guitar? You know, I don't know. I'd have to think about that one. How old am I? I'm 19. I guess everyone's biggest strength in guitar is probably similar, and it's probably just innovation. Everyone shares that in common. You can always, it's unlimited what you can do on guitar. So everyone shares that in common. Believe me, I wouldn't have to practice on pastrami sandwich. I'm expert eating that sandwich. That's funny, Quinn. Gregoria says maybe learn Nirvana. Yeah, Nirvana would be a good thing to start learning. Play any Nirvana song. Ryan Gosling, tips on getting a jawline. I don't think Ryan Gosling needs tips on getting a jawline. Play the guitar. That's my tip. Yes, we will notice that you are so boring. Now go to sleep. Oh, yeah. You gotta do these live streams more. I'm glad to be able to ask you questions like this. Any advice on coming up with original licks or licks on the fly? So for coming up with original licks, in my mind, I think original licks on the fly and original licks that you write, in my mind, they're total polar opposites. Even though that may not be true, and sometimes maybe it could be a detrimental way to think of it, but the way I think of it is when I'm writing something, I want to be as disconnected from the guitar as possible. I want to like be writing something that's just really difficult to play and like something that you would not think of, and you basically didn't train it all to play. You just hear it and then go, okay, this is what I want to play, and then practice that thing, if that makes sense. So that would be me writing licks. Then, but on the opposite side of the spectrum is like making up licks on the spot, and that actually you want to be like practicing that as much as possible so that you are able to be very like almost connected to your guitar so that you can play things on the spot that you would kind of just play naturally. If that makes sense. I'm doing a terrible, terrible job of explaining that. I'm so sorry. Basically, when I'm composing stuff, I'm not thinking about, oh, what would the guitar do? I'm thinking, okay, what's this thing? Now I'm gonna learn it. With making stuff up on the spot, I'm just playing stuff that comes to mind right on the spot because I've practiced teleporting my thoughts to the fretboard quickly, if that makes sense. I don't know. That is kind of a long-winded explanation for they're kind of similar but different. I get you, man. Do you tab stuff out in Guitar Pro when writing solos? Licks for original music and then learn that melodically or methodically? No, I don't. I never use like any sort of tabs or any sort of like arpeggiator and then learn that. I know a lot of artists write solos like that, and I think that's really cool. If I had access to stuff like that, I may do it. I've literally never even tried, so I have no idea if I would like it or not. But usually when I'm talking about writing stuff, I'm thinking about just being just completely as innovative as possible and not thinking about what's natural for me to play. So that's kind of what I'm thinking about. Like one line in particular that I wrote a long time ago that I think is a really cool line. It's natural for me to play now, but when I first came up with it, it was very unnatural. An example of the line would be this, like. Sorry, I botched that up, but I'll play it a little faster now. It'll be actually easier for me to play. I wrote that for a solo I did a long time ago, that little riff, and it was very unnatural for me to play at the time, and now it's kind of natural for me to play because I wrote it and learned it and stuff. So, but yeah, almost another example of something that would be tricky for me to play would be something that's kind of like. It's hard to get into the innovative mindset, like the writing mindset, when you're in a live stream because you're very like focused on not messing up. The key when you're writing is to know I'm gonna mess up a lot, and I have to mess up a ton, and then learn the ways to turn those mess ups into the solo itself, I guess. How long did I spend on this? I don't remember exactly how long it took me. I probably did it in like a day. Like that was one of the, I probably wrote the whole solo in a day, but like that was one of my favorite licks. I don't remember any of the other solo, but that lick has stuck with me for a long time. So much so that I actually kind of utilize that riff in any sort of thing that's in the key of E minor, because it, you know, you have to hit that open E note. Can I play Neon by John Mayer? I can play that. You gotta tune down to the low C though. You are far too intelligent for my comprehension, very eloquent and articulate. So are you saying incorporate the mess ups? I'm doing a terrible job of explaining, actually, Quinn. I wish I could explain a little better, but I appreciate the compliment anyways. Yeah, basically I'm saying, like, when you're trying to solo in front of people, like on the spot, like almost the mentality of improvising. You're trying to limit mistakes as much as possible. When you're writing, though, it's a different mindset. You're not trying to steer clear of mistakes. You're trying to just almost just like people. Actually, I feel like it's very similar to like what a lot of writers do. Like when they're writing a story, they'll just like write everything that comes to their mind. Bad, good, everything. Everything just comes out. And then later they go over it and revise it and turn it into something that's like more, revised, I guess. So, and I would say I would actually probably use a similar approach when I'm writing solos. How do you not mute strings when you play a chord? What do you mean, like, make it ring out? Do you find it difficult playing standing up at first, and do you divide time between sitting and standing practice for your general practice? No, I always practice sitting down, and I think it can be tricky to practice standing up, but it's similar enough where I don't necessarily feel the need to practice it. But I do hear most players who play live, like I've heard Nuno Betancourt say that your playing is just, you got to realize that your playing when you're live is not really necessarily going to be as good because you're standing up, you've got the strap low, you're trying to like look rad, so you're not going to necessarily play as clean. But so there's a little bit of a sacrifice that goes on. I think even if you did practice standing up a lot, I think there would still be a little bit of a sacrifice. Do I play anything beside the guitar? I used to play other stuff, but I pretty much focus on the guitar primarily. Yeah, I think pretty much live, nobody really plays sitting down. Yeah, I mean, standing up, it is definitely, there's a slightly different feel. But there are little tricks you can use. I see a lot of players do this thing where they'll have the guitar like this. Some players just literally play like this. They have it so far up that it's basically like they're sitting down, but that doesn't look cool, so you gotta play like this. But yeah, but there's this thing you can do where this actually helps. If you're playing something really fast, you can kind of wedge the guitar between your legs like this. So you're like this. For some reason, there's something about that position that's easier to play really fast with. I don't know what it is, but maybe it just resembles sitting down more or what, but yeah, so. Let's see. Do I like Adam Jones? Unfortunately, I don't know who Adam Jones is. Which guitarists would you say have influenced your style overall? Who did you want to sound like when you were getting going on the guitar? So the very first thing I ever heard that like really blew me away was actually Cliffs of Dover by Eric Johnson. And so that was like my first thing that I was like, oh my goodness, that's so cool. But I didn't pick up guitar until a few years after I had first heard that song. But then I remember I heard this guy named Lincoln Brewster, who's really good, and he was kind of the first guy who got me into electric guitar. But actually before I played electric guitar, so the order of events is I heard Eric Johnson, thought that was cool, didn't really start playing. Then I actually, before I even played electric guitar, I started playing acoustic, and I got really into bluegrass guitar, because that was just kind of the culture I was surrounded by. A lot of people played bluegrass music. And so I played a lot of bluegrass. Primary influences were like Tony Rice, Brian Sutton, a little bit of Billy Strings, all those guys, Doc Watson and stuff. But and then I heard Lincoln Brewster, and that kind of made me really want to play electric. Thank you, Lily. Jay as Shred says, Eddie Van Halen influenced my style. You cried when he passed away. We all did. We all, it was very sad when he passed. Oh yeah, Lucas, EJ on Austin City Limits, he was so unchained on that whole performance, that whole live performance. Good evening, Johnny Lamb. How you doing? Hey Fern, when you reach for strings on powerful solos, how do you keep from missing notes? I'm assuming you're talking about when you like do like that would be like that would be almost like a climactic part of the solo, where actually, if you notice, I'm hitting a lot of strings actually there. I'm hitting every string on the whole guitar, but only one note rings out. So I'm actually hitting every note, but you gotta just mute it. That's how you keep other strings from ringing out. I mute mostly with, when I'm hitting a note like this, I'm muting mostly with my fretting hand. But there is a little bit of palm muting going on the lower strings as well, because if I didn't palm mute, it would probably sound like, and these low strings would ring out. So you got to do a combination of muting with your fretting hand and your palm and your picking hand. Some people probably do most of their muting with one hand or the other, mostly probably their picking hand. But I tend to like to mute with a combination of both hands. I think that's what works best for me. 2-note per string, alternate picking, ascending pentatonic. Do you find it more natural to start on upstroke or downstrokes? That's a very good question. I struggled with starting on an upstroke for the longest time. That was something I practiced for hours and hours. I think it would actually be depressing if you tallied up all the hours I practiced 2-note per string alternate picking starting on an upstroke. There's something about my picking position that is very tricky to do that. And I'm not exactly sure what it is. Well, I think I know what it is. It's because I have a downward. You find it easier to pick on an upstroke. That means you have an upward pick slant. So that's interesting. So actually, I would advise check out. You probably have already heard of him, but this dude, his name is Troy Grady, and his channel's called Cracking the Code. He talks about picking angles and all that stuff, and he kind of explains why it is that that people struggle with different stuff. So basically, my picking angle has this thing, but what I did is I actually practiced for hours to get it so that my picking angle worked with starting on an upstroke as well, and I was able to actually do it. So I actually got it down where I can play it with an upstroke too. But it took some time. I had to mess with my picking angles and stuff, and actually what I had to really ease off on how hard I picked notes. I think that I was picking way too hard at first. I kind of developed this thing where you pick very lightly when you're playing fast, and I think that helps a lot. And also, believe it or not, I think muting is important when you're playing fast as well. Because if you don't mute, then there's a high chance you're going to hear a bunch of wonky string noise, and that's not good. What year is that strat? It may be 2020. I don't know. Something around there. Doing well, Mohammed. Thanks for tuning in. What can you do to improve picking? Learn. There's so many ways you can improve your picking. You can learn fiddle tunes to improve your picking, alternate picking. You can also, I think the fiddle tunes is actually important. There's a guy named Andy Wood, and he talks about that actually. And I didn't even know about Andy Wood when I first started learning bluegrass, but I learned a bunch of fiddle tunes, and I was like, and I didn't realize that later on that would help me a lot with my alternate picking. But Andy Wood, I heard him say later on that he was like, oh, if you learn fiddle tunes, your alternate picking will really benefit from that. Music theory, but have been playing my guitar for a year. Where should I start? Where should you start for music theory? That's a good question. I don't know. It's like you could do some modal stuff, or you could do some like you could do a bunch of things. I started, for whatever reason, my introduction to theory started with like modal type things. Okay, let's see. Some questions are going by. I'm taking too long. Play. He consistently changes picks up mid-lick. How about you? I haven't seen your previous position sometimes because of the vertical. Yeah, sometimes I switch positions. It depends on what sound I'm going for. I think. Yeah, sometimes it can be cool to switch positions. I do it sometimes. Hey, do you think it's okay to have these idiosyncratic and not so optimal techniques if you're getting used to them as a beginner? Or is it good to have right technique with slow learning? I'd say I don't know necessarily what techniques you're talking about, but if you're gonna apply it to alternate picking, I think the best way to resolve any problems with your alternate picking is to say, okay, can I get a lot of speed out of this? If you can't get a lot of speed out of your alternate picking, then that's a sign that something's wrong. Like literally just take one string and just say, okay, can I get speed out of this? If you can't, then that means you have a wrong picking position, because it should be so, I mean, you should be able to move your hand back and forth so fast, whether it's on the strings or not, it shouldn't matter. So you know you have a bad picking position if you can't pick fast. Now what is natural is, even if you have a good picking position, it takes some time to get good accuracy and hand synchronization. And that's something you practice later. Try to get a good hand, just try to get a good hand position to start with, like pick the easiest position for you. It's different for some people. I take a very like arched position with my hand when I play fast. I think that works best for me. You can even practice licks like that, like where you, like what I just did there, changing strings like this. Play down a scale, just with kind of alternate picking each note, like however many times it was that I picked it, maybe as fast as you can. And that can be very, very beneficial for just getting your pick speed up. So if you can't pick fast, that's a sign that you've got a bad picking technique. Pick as fast as you can, and then once you realize, okay, I can pick fast with this technique, then develop accuracy. So accuracy actually should come after you've got a good technique. So that's what I think. Can we look at your pedal board? So I don't want to take my phone off of its stand right now because it's kind of precarious, but basically what I have is I have a DSL 40C Marshall tube amp. That is what that's my amp. Then I've got a Pod X3 Live Line 6. I've got a blues driver. I have a looper pedal and a Fender pedal called the Trapper. Yeah, cool. Sounds good, Cardboard Jace. I'll check out your comment and I'll respond to it after the live stream. Lily, I am 19. Please play Pirates of the Caribbean. Good night, Cardboard Jace. Thanks for asking questions. Appreciate it. I'm almost 20. Exactly. I feel like I missed a whole bunch of questions. I'm sorry. It's not because I'm trying to miss questions. It's just because Would you say at this point your muscle memory surpasses your conscious memory on how to play with the guitar? When I'm doing this kind of thing, yeah, muscle memory is important. I'd say that's the primary thing functioning right now when I'm playing in front of people. But that's something I kind of stress, is that when you play in front of people, let your muscle memory take over. When you're trying to practice alone, it's not necessarily as fun, but you have to try to shut off your muscle memory and play things that are not natural for you to play. Master of the Puppets. It's amazing how often people request Master of the Puppets. You guys are requesting some stuff. Can you please play Lounge Act by Nirvana? Ugh. I don't know. Okay, feel like doing some jamming, maybe some blues. Yeah, I could do some blues. Let's do that. Let's see. Let's find out. This is called Revenge Blues Rock. Let's give this a shot. Kind of sounds like Oh. At least she's gonna make me a mod too. I could very easily make Quinn a mod. If I ever have need, if I am ever running short on mod duty, Quinn will be my next mod. All I need is for people to start acting badly, and then I can have Quinn be my mod. I'll make Mohammed applicant number 2. Exactly. There's a waiting list, you know. If I ever have need of mods, I will definitely toss you guys on the list. I mod on too many channels. I cannot handle it. You're a mod on many channels. That's funny. I'm not a mod on any channels. I'm not a moderator. When you make me mod, you have to play the circus theme for me. I will do. Do the names Vader and Kenobi ring a bell? Of course. Why do you ask, Feisty Kitty? What amp am I using? Marshall DSL 40C. I should sing. I don't know if the Imperial March has any words. Darth Quinn. That's pretty funny. First time seeing you. You are very talented. Thank you, Lise. I appreciate it. Can you show some plucking? What do you mean, like hybrid picking kind of stuff? Like where people pluck the string? What do you mean by plucking Jaguar? Finger plucking. Yeah, basically you just go like this. You go, yeah, basically you can do kind of Jeff Beck type stuff, I guess, if you use the trem bar on your fingers and stuff like. Hannah is a good mod, so plus she's my sister, so check out she has a check out her channel, guys. She draws and paints stuff. Check out her channel. Maybe when Hannah starts doing live streams, I can be a mod on your channel. Now, Ryan Gosling really wants to be a mod. Coincidentally, my friend is named Anna, but I call her Anime. That's very cool, Quinn. Show the Strat's clean tone versus max distorted tone. All right, let's do it. So here's a clean tone. Actually, you can make a clean tone out of a distorted tone by just turning down a button. But yeah, my clean tone would be something like this. I'd go like this. Be a clean tone. Max distorted tone would probably be something along the lines of like let's see if I can find it. I gotta find my really distorted tone. I'm not totally sure where it is. Hold on, I'm looking. I am looking for my tone. Let me see. Yeah, probably something along these lines. I have a tone somewhere that's really, really distorted. I can't seem to find it though. That's a crazy tone though. That thing just is so noisy. But yeah, so I guess that would be kind of the... But I prefer something that's not super, super distorted. I prefer something that's a little more like this. I hate when the strings die like that. I've been bending too much. Sometimes that happens. All right, let's get a clean tone though. Yeah, somebody. Yeah, I listened to a little bit of John Mayer, so that is kind of the inspiration for the clean tone. Cut my hair and get a fade. I went through many years of a low taper fade. Low taper fade. Yeah, I went through many years of a low taper fade. See you cry, lying there in that position. So turn off your tears and listen. Pain goes your heart to the ground. Love turns the whole thing around. No, it won't all go the way it should, but I know the whole of life is good. How many guitars do I have? I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 guitars. Got those crazy fingers. Yeah, right there I was practicing something, so that's what I advise people don't do when they're on a stream if they want to play for people. Play that song of yours with no name. Alright, let's do it. Isn't she lovely? Isn't she beautiful? I can't believe da, 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 da. It's a nice song. That's a particularly fun one to loop here. Watch if I go like this. If you go, you can turn on your looper pedal and get this going. Ready? It's a cool one. Play something I like. I just played something I liked. It's a good song. Isn't she lovely? some Dandelions. The only thing is I would have to get my different tone, but something you guys will probably realize about me pretty quickly is that I don't like to play stuff that I won't play stuff I don't like to play. So if you guys request something and I don't play it, it's either because I don't know it, haven't heard it, or really don't want to play it. No, but yeah, I could play some Dandelions. Because it could be fun. Let me see. Play something dreamy and dark. Some BB King. I might end on this one. Let's see. We'll see what happens though. go. Dandelions with the Angry Bird hat. What's up, Angel? Play Metallica song. Everybody, play Metallica song. Sensational. TK says sensational. Master of the puppets. Alright. Do you remember me? Yes, I do remember you, Angel. Let's see, what else can I do? I'll do, let's see what this is. This is supposed to be a deep moving ballad. Let's see what this is. What song do you want me to play, Angel? I can't actually even tell what that song is. Alabama? Are you talking about Sweet Home Alabama? I have no idea what song you're talking about. Anyone whose birthday it is, I send out the happy birthday song to you that I previously played. Thank you, Bryson. Let's do another. we go. Pull out Eric Johnson. I pulled out a little bit of Eric right at the end. All right. Enter Sandman. Any tips on dexterity? Oh boy, I would say that just comes with time. Like if you practice alternate picking, dexterity is bound to happen. You know, like it's tricky to get your hands to do some things at first, but you really just gotta get yourself to make stretches. I think it's important to make these kinds of stretches, like. Just get the stretches first, like play like this almost. This will improve your finger dexterity, like. Yeah, so basically just if you practice hammering on from nowhere. That'll help. Can you play When the Messiah Comes? It's kind of a hard one, but I'm listening to you and it's inspiring. I don't know that one, I'm sorry. But I can try to learn it sometime, maybe. Practice book. Yeah, maybe someday. We'll see. I'm more likely to start making YouTube content that is kind of teaches stuff. I don't know, but I haven't even made that jump yet. People like ask me like, "Oh, are you gonna start teaching stuff?" I don't know. Oh, thank you for subscribing, Lewis. Maybe I'll start making some teaching content, but we'll see. What kind of guitar is that? This is a Player Series, Fender Strat. For beginners, I'd recommend, well, the first guitar, here, I can get the first electric guitar I ever had. It was, this one right here. This is the first electric guitar I ever had. It's a Squire, and it's really not too bad, honestly. It's pretty cheap too, so this would be a good, and it sounds pretty good, honestly. Like. The only thing is about it is it doesn't have the 22nd fret, which, as you can see, I just tried to hit the 22nd fret, but couldn't because it's not there. amazing how cool muscle memory is, because when I was playing in the key of D minor there for a second. And I went to reach for the 22nd fret, and it wasn't there. Because normally I'd just be able to go. I'd normally be able to hit it. But then I instinctively went down to the key of E, to C sharp minor, or kind of the key of E. And because I instinctively wanted to be able to go. So. That's actually an interesting thing to be able to do, is to bend while you're in the middle of a fast thing. It's kind of very Eric Johnson to be able to like go like. But normally he would actually probably do it with like a pentatonic or something. Like he would probably go. What do I think is missing from my playing? That's a good question. Normally, if I feel like something's missing from my playing, I'm gonna try and make sure it's not missing. So, off the top of my head, nothing really necessarily comes to mind. But the thing that makes you want to get better is the fact that stuff is missing. So, obviously, it's not that I think that nothing is. It's just that I probably wouldn't have live streamed if I was in a mood where I was kind of in a learning mood. So. Oh, Goals featured me in his community post. Appreciate it, bro. Thanks so much. Or, sorry, it's not bro. I use bro as kind of a general, overarching thing that you say to people. Yeah. And I saw your competition. Oh, thanks. You know what? They just announced winners and stuff, so. And yeah, so. Unfortunately, I didn't make it in, as sucky as that is, but I don't know. I have, yeah, oh well. You know, he announced the winners today, and yeah, he announced it today, and I thought I had, I'm not trying to, be controversial, but I thought I had the most votes, honestly, but I don't really care. It's not a big deal. I think I had, well, I'm not going to get into it. I'm pretty sure I had the most votes by a decent margin, but, I respect the decision, honestly. But you know, you guys voted, and I appreciate your guys' votes. But it didn't really work out for some reason. Oh, thanks, Skulls. Yeah, I think by the end of the thing I had like 175 votes. I'm not trying to like throw shade on Jared Dines or whatever, but I don't think he actually counted all the votes. But it is what it is. Yeah, I don't necessarily, maybe it's politics, I don't know. I think he might have just not meticulously counted all of them. He maybe looked at a few of the comments and was like, oh, you know, it seems like this person's getting a lot of vote. But I think if he really counted all the votes, I think, you know, there might have been some. But, you know, I'm very happy with the results. I think the players who got in deserve to get in, honestly, and I'm so happy for them. Thank you, Gene. Yeah, so, but I'm not gonna, you know, go crazy with it. I think I went a little obsessive with it because when he announced the winners, I was a little bit shocked. I was like, oh wow, I thought I had a lot of votes. I actually went into the comments, scrolled all the way to the bottom, and did like Control F and searched my name, and then I was like, oh wow, interesting. But you know, I think yeah, I don't think he actually counted all the votes, because but you know what? I'm not gonna go crazy with that. It is what it is, you know? I think he wanted to like kind of include people by like saying, oh, comment in who you want to win. But really it was kind of like, you know, he was gonna look at a few of the comments and then pick. Yeah, no, goals, I think you're right. I think the exposure I got from it, even just being in the video I was in, Jared Dines is a huge YouTube channel, so I'm thankful to have been featured in it at all. I think it was really cool. But obviously I would have liked to have gotten into the final thing. But it is what it is. Actually, well, yeah, I would have loved it, but you know, it is what it is. Very true, Quinn. Very true. It was honestly exhausting trying to get people to vote, though, because I had to do live streams like almost every day to try, and kept posting the thing. It was like, oh, guys, don't forget to vote. And you guys were great. You guys were so awesome. I appreciate you guys voting for me. I appreciate it. No, I'm not Canadian, K-Rod. But yeah, you know, it's... I wouldn't do it any other way, you know? Thank you, Goals are for you. I love you guys, too. I appreciate you. If you guys know of any other contests, let me know. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'm not sure if I'll enter. If he does another Shred collab, I'm not sure if I'll enter it, honestly. Because, I don't know. I kind of like, I been there, done that, bought the t-shirt. I tried it. Didn't really work out. Surprisingly. I kind of thought it would, you know, be a little different. But I'm happy for everybody who got in, you know. Obviously, I'm a little disappointed, but life goes on. Dawson Campbell. Do you mean like make a community post and shout you out, Dawson? Thank you for subscribing, by the way. Do you have like a channel, Dawson, and you want to Oh, I appreciate that, Dawson. Thank you. Yeah. Do you have like a channel? And do you want me to shout you out in a community post, or do you mean just like yeah, I see. Yep, I think it'll all work out, Quinn. I'm not worried about it, honestly. There's a little bit of like, I'm dealing with like, I kind of went through the 5 stages of grief today. I saw it, was a little disappointed, was like, oh man, I thought I had enough votes. And then like, but it, you know, it turns out it doesn't seem like Jared was actually reading the votes, or counting them meticulously, which I get it. It's a lot of work. It would be a lot of work to count all the votes, on 5 videos where you have to go through and count all the. I mean, that would just be a lot of work. So I don't blame him, honestly, for reading votes. And on top of that, he already had probably listened through tons of, you know, submissions to the shred contest. So I don't blame him, honestly, if he didn't, you know, do it. But so yeah. Thank you, Dawson. With the votes or not, you know who you are and the talent you have. Yeah, I appreciate that, Quinn. Yeah, it doesn't depress me too much, because it's like, hey, you know, it was fun. It was worth the try. Obviously, I'm a little disappointed, but you guys were great. I appreciate your guys' votes. But you know, sometimes things don't work out perfectly, and that's fine. Actually, I was thinking today, like, I wonder how many people, like, quit playing music because they get disappointed that they, like, lose something or something. I would never, do that. But I bet there's a lot of people who, like, treat competition as, like, an ultimatum. They're like, if I don't win this thing, I quit. But obviously, I would never do that. No man can curse. Your opportunity will come in another way unexpected to you. Thank you so much, Quinn. Yeah. You gotta trust in the process, you know? Whatever happens, you can't get down. Romans 8:28. All right. It's for the game. It's all for the game, man. That's true, Quinn. Thank you, Dawson. I wonder if I had done it on an acoustic guitar, if I had done like the shredding on an acoustic guitar, if that would have gotten it in. Like if I had been like. God bless, Dawson. Thanks for listening. Hot for teacher on acoustic. I feel like with the EVH stuff, it's better to have like a trim bar and stuff. Was good. I'm back and know how to play Buddy Holly on flute. That's cool, Noah. Well, I think I'm gonna call the stream here, guys. It was fun. Thanks for listening. I'll catch you guys later. I'll let you guys say your goodbyes. See you later, Gene. See you later, Noah. Thanks, John. All right. Good night, everybody.